Well, he came here already starting to work on key areas that it feels that can be beneficial for us as a team going forward. Um, Many new things that is brought for us to learn from, and it's bringing us culture where we have to be up there trying to learn many things as we can and trying to improve our game, get it up to another level, which as playing in the Interest Cup from experience, it's a challenging competition. So many new things that is brought, it comes back to us to learn and going forward. But each praise for him is already here, being with us through the preseason, come before Christmas. It's already the floor running, so it's something that all of us boys are benefiting from every day towards each session. So yeah.
Matthew Church has to prove his worth this season. First thing first, understanding the players in his camp. But Church says he is looking at the positives that he has seen so far.
So the only team that every player is from the same country. So there's stuff around that we can harness and drive towards that. I'm enjoying learning the cultures, and I've been out to the CEO's village.
Church has been out and about and has been talking with his players, trying to understand their stories individually.
I'm getting out and about and understanding where the boys come from, and it gives you more awareness of how they have turned out as men, so I'm enjoying it.
The Hunters have a new training regime, with Matthew Church starting the team with split sessions on gym and skills, followed by a half day of training before resting on Wednesday, and adding in sessions to focus on certain muscles and skills, preferably pull sessions. A focus on players' fatigue and how they can cope with it during training is also a key part of his regime.
We'll do gym and skills in the morning, split session, give them a rest, and then come back in the afternoon for a 3 o'clock field session. So that'll be the same Monday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesdays are slightly different. We split the session in the morning, and because Wednesday's a rest day, just so to maximise their rest, we knock them off by lunchtime, feed them and send them home so they get a day and a half rest. And then Saturday morning, it's just, we vary that up. We try and make them be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So we mix that up and do different sessions like pool sessions and training different muscles that they're probably not using during the week. So just to put them out of their comfort zone and try and make them a little bit uncomfortable under fatigue.
Fidelis Sukina, National MTV Sports. It's a new season 2020, but there are some players that have returned and made the final squad for the Png Hunters, players who were let go of the team in 2019. 3 players, Joe Frank, Joe Joshua and Junior Rob, were let go last season for disciplinary issues. New coach Matthew Church is aware of the disciplinary issues faced by the team last season and has warned the players not to break the club's code of conduct.
I'd heard through the coaching staff that there was a few people moved on from discipline issues, and I'm very much the same. I'm a person that lives by the motto that you'll act your way into the team and you'll act your way out of it. So they'll be made very aware of their responsibilities and the accountability that they'll have, especially if they've got strikes against their name. So
Church is aware the Hunters is the dream team for most homegrown Papua New Guinean rugby league players. It is a pathway to professional rugby league contracts. Church knows that rugby league talent is immense in PNG and will not hesitate to replace undisciplined players.
We'll be pressing that as a group, not only just to them individuals, but as a group, because there's a lot of people in PNG that would love to be wearing the Hunters gear. There's someone else ready to take their place, and as I said before, we've had to send 11 away before Christmas that would love to be back in camp, so we can easily replace people.
Church said it is tough making it into the Hunters 30-man squad. This season it went down to fitness and experience down the pecking order. But Church says the players drop for the season will be considered for the team's wider squad.
Tommy Moyday was a little bit behind with his fitness, and Israel Stephen probably just down the pecking order a little bit behind those guys. So unfortunately that's experience. But yeah, I made them very aware that it wasn't the end of their road for them at the Hunters, and should they keep putting the performances on the board, then if something happens, most Queensland Cup clubs use 35 to 39 players a year, so we've only got 30 players, so there's going to be opportunity throughout the year, so it's just a matter of them taking it with 2 hands when it comes along.
Church is focusing on building great rugby league players, but also a focus on life after rugby league, with Church poised at getting some funding from NRL to grant scholarships to Hunters players. At the moment, it is just a plan.
But I'm hoping to look at options going forward with our program, that we're not only making these guys better footballers, but we're making them better humans and better men by doing some stuff around some education. And looking at what kind of courses and what kind of support we can get from the NRL to give us some funding to do some courses, so that if the boys want to learn a particular skill, whether it's construction or IT or something like that, then we provide an opportunity or a pathway for them to do that, so that when they go back to their communities, they go back as better humans, not just better players.
Fidelis Sukina, National, MTV Sports. English is not Papua New Guinea's first language, and Australian Png Hunters coach Matthew Church is finding out that it is kind of a challenge. But Church is determined to prove he can bring down the language barrier. But he found out that writing things down is much simpler and easy to understand for the team, and he has resorted to video and writing the plays down and explaining to the team.
Yeah, it's good. I really think that the boys are grasping that I'm specifically coaching in English. I understand that that's their third language, behind their native tongue and Pidgin.
At the end of the day, the Hunters are a team, and together they can work together on understanding Church's strategies moving forward. It has been a plus though, with the senior players helping Church to spread the message.
But they've been really good. A lot of the senior boys have been stepping up to say, make sure you ask coach if you don't understand, because that's on me. I need to find a better way to communicate that, whether I show them that in video or whether I show that on a whiteboard. So we had a whiteboard session this morning. I find when I write stuff down, they seem to grab it a little bit better than just communicating with them.
So far, the players are adapting slowly to Church's training regime. The team had to settle with training in the rain yesterday. Church says it's all about working with what's ahead of them.
We just need to be able to adapt to it, and just today we weren't allowed to use the field. They asked us not to use the field, so we just adapted and changed our training. But our mindset doesn't change in terms of that, and that's what's going to happen in a game. We might not get calls go our way or certain things, but we just have to adapt and get better at that.
Fidelis Sukina, National, MTV Sports.